introduction to data analytics. So quickly, I have 99 students on the call. What is data analytics to you? What do you believe data analytics is to? At least before you say you want to go into school to study accountancy, you definitely already did your study on what accountancy is and what it entails, and it drove your interest. Before you go into school and say you want to study law, you definitely knew what it was about and why you're going into law. Before you go into school and say you want to study electrical and electronics engineering, there is something that actually, drove that decision. So here, what do you know as data analytics? Gathering documents and making them make sense. That is a very brief definition, though I would not say concise because it doesn't really capture the overview of data analytics. Okay, so Treasure says data analytics is basically examining data sets to derive actionable insights and aid decisions, especially in business world. Beautiful, beautiful. Analyzing data or information. Treasure, I love your definition. I love your definition. The study of raw data and information that helps to find patterns and trends that helps to draw conclusions. Okay. Data analytics is simply getting your data from different sources, preparing it, visualizing, storing, and using it to draw conclusions. Okay, I see some people are not new in the data analytics game. Beautiful. I'm seeing a lot of definitions here. Has to do with Winifred, has to do with collecting, gathering data, cleaning, analyzing, and visualizing data for the purpose of making good and informed decisions. Beautiful. Beautiful. I mean, every definition I'm seeing here is either hitting the nail on the head or is doing something very similar to that. You guys are killing it. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So let's just go into what I have for today. Okay, it's like I should just jump the entire overview, but then there are people in the class that will still need to get the overview, the introduction of what data analytics is about. So our objectives is very simple in this program. We are going to understand data and its concept, and we're going to do a bit of that today. Then we are going to gain proficiency in the use of Excel for data cleaning, analysis, and visualization. So many of you are definitely not new to Excel. There is a saying, I was at AXA Mansard, I think last week, and the chief risk officer was saying, she tells people, especially people that are coming into the company for, say, a job or internship, he tells them that at least, okay, you should know Excel. If at all you don't know anything, all right, it doesn't matter if you're a data analyst or anything, you should know Excel. Okay, that was their chief risk officer at AXA Mansard at VI, in person of Teju Scott. So she was saying, at least you should know Excel. Not only in data analytics that you make use of Excel. Okay, but you are a data analyst, you need to have proficiency in the use of Excel. So we're going to be looking at various techniques, we're going to be looking at methodologies, we're going to be looking at processes in Microsoft Excel. All right. Then we're also going to be looking at upskilling. We want to upskill in the use of Power BI for effective visualization and driving reasonable insights. Now, many of us don't know Power BI at all. Just a few of us probably know a bit of Power BI. All right. But then you'd see visualization in Excel and then you see visualization in Power BI again. Why? So when we get there, we would see the difference and we would see why Power BI is preferable when you're talking about visualization. Okay. Then we would now go into, excuse me, we would now go into a new world outside of Excel and Power BI. I call it a new world. because the approach that you will take to data analytics in SQL and Python is way different from Excel and Power BI. Excel and Power BI are basically drag and drop um, applications. Okay, what you just have to do is click here, click there, drag here, drop here. For Excel and Power BI, most of the time, you write one or two functions, and depending on how well you are good, you might write more. But in SQL and Python, SQL, most importantly, you are not really doing visualization. You're not doing any visualization at all in SQL. At all in SQL. No visualization at all. Okay. But in Python, yes, you see a bit of visualization in Python for data analytics. So we're going to understand how to use SQL to query databases. What do I mean by query databases? Many of us don't know, but when we get there, we'd understand that. All right. And they would also use Python as a tool for data analytics. All right. So let's proceed. Now, what are you going to need for this program? What are you going to need for this program? For this program, you're going to be making use of a Windows laptop, internet, and you need to understand how to use it. Okay, so you should not be new to the environment of a computer. All right, you should not be new to the environment of a computer. So you need a Windows laptop. Why did I specify Windows laptop? I specified Windows laptop because while a MacBook will still handle Excel, a MacBook will still handle SQL, and a MacBook will still handle Python. Your MacBook will not take Power BI natively. Okay, it would only install Power BI if you have a Windows operating system on it. So what my students do most of the time is they create a partition on their system and they install Windows on that partition. That is on the Mac OS. They install Windows on a partition of their Mac OS and then they go ahead and install Power BI on it. I don't know the beef between Microsoft and Apple because there are a lot of Microsoft applications that are available on Mac OS, but I don't know the reason why they have decided not to release a native Power BI application dedicated for Mac. Okay, so if you don't have a Windows operating system on your Mac OS or you have a virtual machine on your Mac OS, you cannot make use of Power BI desktop on that Mac OS. Okay, so you need a Windows laptop, internet, and understand how to use it. So internet, why? You might need to do research every now and then. Okay. Then you need to dedicate time. You need to dedicate time. Many of us are working class people. All right. 9 to 5, entrepreneurs, and Nigeria is very hard and it's getting tougher. Okay. So it's more like, oh, the work you are doing before, you have to double it.